What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nora. If you are new, if this is your first time coming around, baby, thank you so much for joining. And I am looking forward to today's video. Okay, I've actually been wanting to film something along the lines of the topic that we're gonna kind of chat about today for a while, but I kind of wanted to test a little bit, you know what I mean? I wanted to dibble and dabble across different products, buy a couple different things, you know, kind of be your test subject, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I love doing that. So today we're gonna be talking about to dupe or not to dupe. You know what I'm saying? This is the question, right? To dupe or not to dupe. Is it worth me spending hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars on an item? Does it make sense? Is it worth it? We're gonna talk all the things here today. Hopefully this will be helpful. Maybe it'll just be entertainment, whatever you're here for though. Hopefully overall you enjoy the video. Let's jump right in. All right, so before we actually really dive into things, y'all know I always have to hit us with a nice little disclaimer. At the end of the day, your money is your money, okay? Your money is your money, baby. Do whatever you want to do with it, right? I do think sometimes when people talk about these topics today, dupe, not to dupe, buy the real thing, replicas, all that good stuff, a lot of times it's just like everyone's kind of pointing fingers and telling other people what to do. Do whatever feels best for you. Do whatever makes sense for you. I'm not clocking nobody's pockets, okay? We not clocking pockets over here. Whatever you want to do for you is totally fine. So don't take this video like super serious. Don't think that I'm coming towards you about anything. Again, I just kind of wanted to share because some people are genuinely interested, want to know the differences. I've had people ask me a lot of times with a lot of different items I've purchased or even just my advice, so I thought it would be nice to share. Secondly, I kind of wanted to clarify kind of right at the beginning, and I know I already kind of mentioned them. Dupe, replica, are they the same thing? What's the difference, right? Okay, and maybe I'll even pop up a little word from our, you know, beautiful partner. Obviously this ain't sponsored, but from Merriam herself, okay? Merriam-Webster. I'll probably pop it up on the screen as well. But essentially, a dupe is going to be an item that is gonna give you a similar look to maybe a higher end product. So a lot of times y'all see when I talk about different products, I really try hard, actually not even just to say necessarily dupe. I might say, you know, a look for less, but for purposes of this conversation, a dupe is just going to be probably a more affordable version of another item. For example, y'all know I love her. This is my little dumpling pouch that I have from Oak & Fort. A lot of times I refer to it as such as a dupe to very popular kind of like silhouette and bag from Bottega. It is not a replica because here our definition is a replica is essentially a fake of another item, right? So if this actually had like the Bottega logo stitched on the inside or any other like markings on the item that it was supposed to give off the effect that it is actually Bottega but it's not and I bought it somewhere else, that's a replica, okay? If you are from the Northeast area, Canal Street, okay baby, and I'm not even gonna hold y'all, okay? As a younger, you know, a younger up and coming girl in the fashion space where I had that coin, I was on Canal Street, okay? I was on Canal Street, you know, looking around, browsing around. That is a replica, okay? A replica is essentially a fake. It is going to have the labels, it is going to have logos on it, but it's not authentic. You didn't actually purchase it, you know, whether it was directly from, you know, the store, the brand, the retailer, or from an authorized retailer. That is a replica. A dupe is just simply a look for less. It's gonna give you a similar silhouette and feel to maybe a higher end brand or something else that's out there already, but it is not trying to replicate, hence the name replica. It is not trying to replicate another item. So I just wanted to clarify that because I do think sometimes I feel like people use the words dupe and replica interchangeably when they're not. They're not the same thing. So I think sometimes people get, you know, very confused. I also think we use dupe very loosely as well. Like everyone just kind of says if it looks similar, it's a dupe. Sometimes maybe it's not a dupe, okay? The quality obviously doesn't match. It's not really a dupe because when I really think of a dupe, it's essentially, can I get a very similar product for a better bang for your buck? That's why you'll see I try to make a conscious effort of saying look for less a lot more. This is not a dupe to a Bottega bag. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Does it look similar to some of the bags that they have? Yes, but I wouldn't call it a dupe because the quality is nowhere near the bag from Bottega. This is not real genuine leather. Obviously we know Bottega has some of the finest leather out there, so I wouldn't necessarily call it a dupe. I know for lack of better words, we do say it very loosely, but again, I just kind of wanted to highlight that as well. So now with all the disclaimers out of the way, I wanted to give you kind of 3 different points or 3 different things that I like to run through in my head before I make the decision of to dupe or not to dupe. And maybe not even necessarily points, they're more so questions that I like to ask myself. The number 1 question and thing that I always run through my mind before I make a purchase is this something that is going to be a staple in my wardrobe? Is it going to be a part of my capsule wardrobe? Is this something that I can tell is going to have longevity in my closet? Or is it something super trendy that I love just right now? And I know a lot of times for us, we don't want to keep it funky with ourselves, but that's the only way this is really gonna work and you're gonna make better shopping decisions. You have to be honest with yourself. Are you just into this right now because of the hype? It's everywhere. It's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's on Pinterest. All the girlies are buying it. It's everywhere in the stores. Or is it something that you truly love? It speaks to you. It speaks to your personal style. It speaks to your closet. That, I think, is the number 1 question that you need to be thinking about. Now, I want to expand on this just a little bit because I also want to say too, don't get super rigid on yourself, right? Again, it's your money. Do what you want to do with your money. Fashion is fun and it's supposed to be fun. Personal style is supposed to be fun. So of course, there are going to be items that might be a little bit trendier, but they speak to you, right? You just see that piece and you're just like, oh, I love fashion so much. This is a collector's item and piece that I know maybe I'm not going to wear it all the time, but I want it in my collection. I can pass it down, all that great stuff. By all means, purchase. But again, when it starts to get to a place where you're over consuming and just simply trying to keep up with the Joneses and the trends, I think that's when we kind of got to step back and be like, all right, girl, you buying too many, all right? You buying too many things that you don't genuinely need. So that's usually the first question I ask myself and the first point I like to mention. Now, secondly, I always say, does the quality, do the materials of this item make sense for the price tag, okay? This is one that I always think about, especially when looking at jewelry. Y'all have seen it here on my channel. You've probably seen it all over the internet. I will probably pop up some pictures here as well. But the first one, honestly, that always comes to mind for me are the Bottega kind of like drop earrings. Baby, they took the internet by storm. Even on my first TikTok, page that I had, they went viral as well. And for good reasons. The earrings are stunning. Okay, they're beautiful. They're very simple. They're chic. Anyone can style them and I love them. I went back and forth to dupe or not to dupe. I do love Bottega. I like a lot of their items, but I have to say when it comes to jewelry and costume jewelry from a lot of the luxury brands, baby, you are paying for the brand. I took a look at those earrings on the Bottega website and baby, they are not genuine gold. If you were looking at the gold ones, the silver ones are not genuine silver at all. They are literally just plated hollow earrings. And I think if I remember correctly, like the large ones from Bottega were maybe like $1,200, $1,300, and then I think the smaller size were anywhere between $700, $800. I'm telling you right now, I'm not paying that. I'm not paying it, and I didn't. I could not justify that price tag because the materials didn't make sense. Hopefully y'all are following along, right? If this was a pair of earrings that were 100%, gold, and I'm not saying that they needed to be the highest 24 karat, no. But even if they were actual gold, if they weren't just hollow costume jewelry earrings, I could understand that a little bit more. I also think about my Louis Vuitton, I think they're called the Louise hoop earrings. Again, I'll pop up a picture here on screen. Now, candidly, I ain't buy those, okay? I didn't pay for them myself, they were a gift. But if I was to have someone come to me and ask my opinion, y'all, I honestly would tell them not to spend the money either. Those earrings are like $700, $800. Y'all, they are not real gold. They are not even plated in real gold. I've had mine now for a couple of years and I can actually already tell y'all they're starting to wear away on some parts, like the part of the earrings that kind of face my face and like rub up against my face. It is starting to kind of like wear away a little bit, so you can kind of see the actual, material metal that was underneath. It's kind of like a silver color under. So I just feel like, again, are they beautiful? Yes. Do I love them? Yes. Do I wear them all the time? Yes. Do I regret the gift? Definitely not. Would Norah and Justin have gone into the store and paid $800 for them earrings? 6-7 years ago, yes. 6-7 years ago, yes, because maybe I just, money was burning a hole in my pocket. So if I had it, I was spending it. Now, I would not spend that money because the quality and just like the materials that they're using did not justify the price. You got unlimited funds. you don't care about dropping $700 on some earrings, baby, do it by all means. But I think for the sake of trying to make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck, they didn't make sense. So again, going back to our second point, or the second question, does the quality, do the materials of said item make sense for you to spend that amount of money? And if you feel like it doesn't, go for the dupe. And then the third point, third question I like to ask myself, this one should be no surprise if you have been following along for a while, is can you style it multiple ways? I think this one is so huge, and this is actually one that I really had to implement in just the way I shop and my shopping habits. I was really bad, and I feel like a lot of us can relate to this. I was really bad about shopping for specific events, shopping for specific items, right? Oh, I have a birthday dinner to go to on Friday, so let me find an outfit for that. Oh, I'm going here this weekend, so let me find an outfit for that. Of course, sometimes you got themed parties, like let me find an outfit for that. Then what would start to happen is I was buying specific items for just like whatever certain events, and it did not make sense in my closet. Not only was I buying items for specific events, I was also buying like pretty pricey pieces. I ain't even gonna hold y'all, like pretty pricey, trendy items, things that probably would look good for like that one outfit, but did not benefit my closet at all, did not benefit my wardrobe whatsoever. That sometimes now I look back and I think to myself, you probably could have done a dupe. You probably could have purchased a look for less rather than the super expensive, high-end, luxury, whatever it might be, price tag for said event. So think to yourself, can you style this multiple ways? I'm laughing because y'all, I tell myself this all the time. I went shopping literally just yesterday, and I caught myself a couple times in some stores where I was just like, oh, she's so cute. It's the moment. Of course, it's trendy right now. So there were a lot of items in the store that kind of were around this style. But I was like, Norah, you do not need to drop this kind of money, because for one, I knew, baby, I couldn't think of even really 2 ways to style it, let alone 3. I have seen some dupes and looks for less that really would help me achieve the same look. And honestly, I realized too, I loved it because it would go perfect for an event I'm going to tonight. So think about if you can style it multiple ways. And honestly, if you can't, that might be a smarter, route to take, is purchasing the dupe rather than investing at that time in the super, super expensive item. So when looking at things like bags, clothing, shoes, jewelry, I know a lot of times we're going back and forth on to dupe or not to dupe. If it is an item that again, will have that longevity in your closet, and it's within, your budget and within your means, by all means, purchase the real item. So I'll kind of give y'all some examples in some of these different categories that I mentioned here a little bit, and kind of walk you through my thought process and if I would dupe or not dupe. So we kind of already started talking about jewelry, right? So like I mentioned, those Bottega drop earrings, baby, I would definitely say dupe. If you are rolling in dough, by all means, go ahead and purchase, the real ones from Bottega. But I think for the materials, the quality makes absolutely no sense. My ones from Amazon held up very well. Love them, wear them all the time. They're not really tarnishing. Absolutely enjoy them. Costume jewelry as a whole, personally for me, I don't necessarily think you should always go for the real item. Now, again, don't get me wrong. There are some items that I look at that I genuinely just want to have in my collection. They're probably items that I would pass down. I have talked about the Cartier Love bracelets quite a few times here on my channel. I think I mentioned also too, Cartier themselves now actually no longer authenticate bracelets, just because there are so many dupes, honestly, replicas that are coming out there that look very similar to the ones actually from Cartier. Now myself, I still want the ones from Cartier directly, just because I know for my own jewelry collection, that's something I want to invest in. That's something that I think I will be able to pass down to, my daughters one day in the future. But of course, if you don't really care to have the actual Cartier one, you absolutely could go more of the dupe or look for less route. Jewelry for sure can kind of be a tricky one, because again, I think it just kind of all depends on what you want to invest in on. But I guess my biggest rule of thumb for that would be costume jewelry. You probably are gonna wanna go more so dupe or look for less. Fine jewelry, I think, definitely makes sense, again, because those are usually investment pieces. They hold their value. I would go more the luxury high-end route. Bags are a fun one, okay? I think bags are a fun one. And again, I think this is just another category where it really depends on your wardrobe, things you like to invest in. I know some people who love bags, but are really more so just using them as like a quick little accessory. They like to change them out and are not necessarily building a collection, right? They're not really building their own personal, you know, kind of like library archive of bags. So by all means, again, if you're just trying to follow cute little trends, something that you know you're probably not going to be really excited about 6 months, a year, 5 years down the line, I definitely think it makes sense to dupe. I also think with bags, I think dupes are a really great way to test out a bag or a style before really investing in the real thing from maybe some luxury high-end brands that you really love. This bag, I would say, is kind of what that was for me. I wear this bag down and it has been very clear to me that the Bottega one that I have been looking at for a while would be a great investment because I use it and wear it a lot. I know the quality of their bags are excellent. I know the craftsmanship is there, so the price tag definitely makes sense. But I wanted to make sure, was I just really excited about that bag because it was trendy and like kind of all the rage at that time, or if it was something that I genuinely love. But again, if you know it's something that you probably only like for the time being, I would probably go more so dupe. For me, again, though, I am starting to build my collection. I am starting to build kind of my own little archive, if you will, because a lot of these pieces, again, I'm hoping I will be able to pass down one day. I like having bags that I do not have to be worried about, you know, putting it down if I do really use it, if it's going to fall apart. And I will say candidly, at least for me, I find that the bags that I invest a little bit more money in obviously hold up a lot better as well. So that's also another thing I like to think about, is how I'm using these bags in my everyday life. And if it's something that I am going to be reaching for a lot, I definitely want to invest a little bit more money in. Now, if you're looking at some of your more trendier items, trendier pieces, I would probably say go for the dupe, go for a look for less. Now, clothing, clothing is an interesting one, okay? And believe it or not, I am probably 75% of the time going to tell you to go the dupe or look for less route. Okay, stick with me here. And this is probably going to be a little bit surprising to some folks because I have a lot of like luxury ready to wear, a lot. But for me in my closet, I feel like it makes sense because, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I am really building an archive. I am building a collection, and there are certain items and pieces that I am trying to collect, essentially. And of course I'm wearing them. I'm not saying they're like up in a shrine, but there are certain things just as a fashion lover that I want in my wardrobe. I'm going to wear them. I'm going to style them multiple ways. But those are pieces that I want to add to my collection, again, just from a fashion perspective, loving, you know, those designers and their work. I think a lot of people, though, where they get caught up is, again, things are trending, things are viral, and you kind of feel like you want it, but it doesn't really make sense to invest in it, especially at that price tag. I have talked about my Loewe tank before, okay? And I love Loewe, love the brand, love my Loewe anagram tank, but I will tell y'all, was it worth the money? No, it was not worth the money at all. And I think that tank top was like $600. I don't know, I don't remember, $500-600. It is a white tank top with some black stitching on it. And I actually have to say, candidly, I have a lot of tank tops from other like high street brands, Amazon, that I think the quality is 10 times better, okay? 10 times better. But I personally could justify that purchase because it is just kind of an item that I wanted to have in my collection. It's just kind of a little piece that, for me, I definitely thought I wanted to be able to just have it. I do wear it a lot, so I have for sure got my cost per wear. But it's a white tank top, okay? It's a white tank top with a logo on it. A lot of brands I know do kind of like their tank tops, the t-shirts with just like a simple logo. Some of them, the quality is not that great, or it's just like a simple cotton t-shirt and then you're paying essentially for the brand. Now, I do recognize why they go viral, and a lot of people do kind of go after them because they are kind of an easier entry point into fashion, luxury, ready to wear, just because ready to wear is very expensive. Ready to wear essentially just means the clothes that you could wear outside from the luxury brands, not the couture, high fashion stuff at, you know, Paris Fashion Week that nobody would actually wear. Ready to wear are the things that you go into the store and you can purchase, but definitely not worth it, right? I think a lot of times you can get really good quality items in the high street brands, Amazon, a lot of other brands that are great quality where you're not going to break the bank. But again, if you are someone who is collecting items and kind of building your archival pieces, by all means. And again, baby, if you're ready to spend the money, okay? Spend the money. I have a lot of designer denim, designer jeans. I am someone who wears jeans a lot. I do prefer investing in my denim just because with wearing them so much, obviously then you end up washing them pretty often. I would much rather just invest the money up front with getting good quality denim rather than, you know, maybe spending a lot less and having to replace them all the time. So like for me, that's something that I like to invest in. Again, do I need to spend money on Saint Laurent jeans, Margiela jeans? No. Of course, there are other brands out there as well that I could definitely get a similar look and just purchase the dupe and get that same vibe. But for my closet and what I'm building, there's a couple little pieces, you know, clothing items that I was okay with spending the money. Here is an area where I would say, and honestly with all of these categories, I personally would not be buying replicas by any means. Like I'm not looking to buy a fake Miu Miu sweater. I'm not looking to buy a fake Balenciaga jacket, just because for me it's like, well, what's the point? Like, are you trying to give off the impression that you can afford the item? I don't know. I never really understood the psyche there, but for me, that wouldn't be my recommendation. But if you're not really looking to build like an archive collection, get the dupe. So to quickly recap with our 3 points, 3 major questions to kind of keep in mind when you're trying to decide between purchasing the dupe or purchasing the real thing. Will it be a wardrobe staple or is it just trendy right now? Are you only loving it right now because it's everywhere, you're seeing it all over the internet, you're seeing it all in the stores, or is it something that is gonna fill that hole in your wardrobe and is going to be a staple piece in your collection? 2, does the quality, the materials that these items are made of justify the price? Again, are you paying that price just because of the brand name? Do the materials make sense? Or can you genuinely find something out there, better quality at a better price? And then 3, can you style it 3 ways, okay? If you can't style it 3 ways, if it's only good for that one special occasion, if it's only good for that one themed party, go for the dupe. Go for the dupe, go to Amazon, get the look for less, don't invest in the high-end piece. And of course, like I said at the beginning, fashion, style is supposed to be fun. Don't let some of these little pointers that I'm sharing hold you back from also just buying things that speak to you, that you love. I am just here, you know, as your internet cousin to make sure we're not over consuming, we're not overextending ourselves financially and just buying things for the sake of honestly like feeling like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. If you are someone who really is trying to build that collection, your own personal archive, your own personal museum, if you will, of these items, by all means, buy the luxury one, build that collection. If that doesn't really matter to you, it's not what's important, you're just looking for some cute clothes to wear, girl, get the dupe. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below. I don't know, I'm interested to see what you all think. Are you like gun-ho? I don't buy dupes, I don't buy replicas. I love me a good replica, I don't care if it's fake. I like to test out a look for less first and see if it's something I love. Or are you just a luxury girl, okay? Are you a luxury girl down? Okay, you are on Net-a-Porter, Fashion File, you're in Saks, you're on Rodeo. Let me know what all the vibes are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye y'all.